Hey everybody, it's Dr. Tanner Parr.
Hi, I'm Adria Parr, and we're going to be doing a lower body stretch routine today that's going to really help with your functional flexibility and help you recover after your strength and endurance workouts. So let's go ahead, grab a mat, and we'll go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with a dynamic hip flexor stretch. So one leg is going to come out, my right leg is forward, and we're going to hinge forward. All right, let's go ahead and raise that arm up, and we're going to do 5 passes, extending backwards, raising that arm up.
Ideally, as we're doing this, you want to make sure you keep those hips twisted under so you're getting that nice stretch through the front of the hip flexor here, down into the quad.
Good, now we're going to rotate, so take your hand, grab that knee, use your other hand to push on your back to get a little rotation there, and then reset. We have 3 more of these.
Whenever we're stretching, we always want to get all 3 planes of motion. So we have the sagittal, the transverse, and the next one is going to be that frontal plane of motion.
Yeah, so with the next one, we're going to reach up and over, stretching all the way down the side of your body.
With this one, you can also lunge forward as well, just to get some more of that hip flexor as you're leaning over the side.
Let's do one more. All right, now we're gonna get the hamstring of that leg that's out front. So toe up into the air. We're gonna lean forward, and I'm gonna make this a dynamic stretch. I'm gonna scoop my arms big, come all the way up, and another scoop. If your hamstrings are a little bit tighter, you might want to make it a static hold.
So for me, my hamstrings are a little bit tighter. If I try to do a dynamic stretch like Adria is doing, my back will curve. So instead, I'm gonna try and keep my back nice and tall. I'm timing this out. We've got about 5 seconds left. In 3, 2, 1, that is time.
Right. Take both of your hands on the inside of that foot. We're gonna come into a runner's lunge. That back leg is straight, shoulder pushing against the knee against the shoulder, weight is in that heel. And your arm is gonna twist open towards the back of the room. This is world's greatest stretch. That arm that is up high is now gonna come under, thread through, and reach. So we're gonna do a few passes of these, keeping that back leg straight.
As we're reaching under, you should really feel this through that interior groin and glute. And as we stretch out, we're getting the thoracic spine rotation. And again, you're getting a little bit more stretch through that back leg hip flexor.
Last one here. Good, go ahead and put those hands down, put your back leg down. We're gonna come into a modified pigeon. So that leg that's out front is gonna come down. Your back leg is gonna bend also. So we've got 90-90 in those knees, and we're gonna reach. Lay your heart out over those legs and come up, really stretching out those hips. You can make this a dynamic stretch or a static hold also. If you're doing a dynamic, you might alternate the angle at which you lay out over your knee.
If you're making this a static stretch, again, we want to try and keep back as neutral as possible. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds, and I start by just laying directly over the same line of my femur. So you just lay straight over it. If you can stack your fists and bring head down onto the fists. All right, that is 30 seconds. So if you're doing the static stretch, you're then going to rotate even further just to get a little bit more, and you would do another 30 seconds laying down over in this direction. So as we walk our hands away from our knee, you should start to feel this more in that QL muscle through the lower back, and also getting a little bit more of that spinal stretch as well. Big important thing with stretching is making sure that you're taking big, deep abdominal breaths, trying to breathe in slowly through the nose, breathe out through the mouth, and that is 30 seconds. We'll come back up. So the next one is a pretzel stretch. Pretzel stretch is a little unique in how we get into this. So I start by laying on my left side. You're going to bring your left leg behind you. Your right leg is going to come over the top. You're going to grab your right foot with your left hand. You're then going to grab your left foot with your right hand. Once you are in this position, you want to try and relax your head back and lay your shoulders flat on the floor. You should be feeling a very dynamic stretch. Not dynamic, excuse me, a very deep stretch through both sides of the hips and a little bit through that left hip flexor. Good, good, good.
And it's okay to kind of move through that stretch a little bit to find your sweet spot. You can even make a little static stretches. You can kind of make them dynamic by just rocking back and forth a little bit, loosening up those hips.
And that is time.
All right, so here we're gonna come onto our back. That right leg is gonna come onto your left knee. We have a supine figure 4, so we're still stretching out those hips. So we're gonna make a window, reach behind your left thigh, pull those legs in. My elbow is pushing my knee open. My tailbone is pushing tight towards the floor. And then let's get some ankle mobility by rolling that ankle. So big, big circles here, roll that ankle. And the other side, I guess a better way to say this would be circle the ankle instead of roll the ankle. But if we keep those ankles nice and mobile, you'll be preventing ankle injury in the future, or knee or hip or back. All right, relax that ankle, pull those legs a little bit closer, push your tailbone into the floor as hard as you can. Breathe.
I have a tendency to want to lift my head, to always look at what I'm doing. Try not to do that. Try and relax that head back, keep that tension out of your neck.
All right.
Good.
Let's go ahead and roll on up, and we'll do all of that on the other side. So we'll come back into that dynamic hip flexor and quad stretch this time. It's your opposite leg forward. All right. So, did we start with the same leg?
Yeah, we started
Okay.
with the same leg.
I have my right leg forward this time. We're gonna reach up, extend backwards. You've already done all this once, so now you're just doing the other side. You wanna stretch equally on both sides. Let's do 2 more.
If you hear some noise in the background, it's just kids running in and out. Same thing you'll probably experience at home when you're doing some of these stretches.
You feel right at home. All right, let's do a twist. So we're gonna grab that knee, push against those hips and twist, lean forward with that. Good.
As parents, if you have kids at home, you'll probably know that anytime you get down on the floor to do any kind of stretching routine, you immediately become a jungle gym and they want to jump and
Laterally flex over that. But you know what, this is a great opportunity to do this with your kids.
absolutely.
It's gonna help pretty much any kind of sport that they're gonna be into, help with their growing.
It does take a little sticking the word for a second.
Patience?
Patience, yes.
Let's take that into a hamstring stretch now. So that toe comes up. I'm gonna scoot. Tanner is going to static hold.
Hold this for 30 seconds. So for here, it doesn't take me very much to feel that hamstring stretch. So if I curved my back, it's not gonna make the hamstring feel any more. All I'm trying to do is rotate that pelvis, top of the pelvis forward, and it already just lights up that back of my hamstring. We got 5 seconds left. And time.
Good, so come into that runner's lunge. Those hands are on the inside of your foot. Straighten that back leg. Shoulder pushes against knee, knee against shoulder. And weight is in that front heel. Your hand closest to your foot. it's going to reach up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to thread through the opposite side and really reach. I like to even push my hips down in this position to just deepen that stretch.
As we're threading through, I really feel a lot of stretch through that interior hamstring, as well as a little bit of the interior groin as well.
All right, let's do one more. Good. All right, come on down. We're gonna do 90-90 at those knees again for that modified pigeon stretch. I'm gonna start off with it being a dynamic stretch, reaching in all different directions. And then later on, I'll join Tanner with the static.
So for the static, we're doing 30 seconds straight ahead, directly over that femur. My right side is a little bit tighter, so I can't go quite as low.
So with this dynamic stretch, if you're doing this option, not only are you stretching that hip out, but you're also getting a little bit of core exercise in there. The muscles in my back are working to pull my body up each time.
2, 1, and we're gonna twist now. Open that up a little bit more through that lower back.
And don't forget to breathe here. Nice big deep breaths.
Whenever we're breathing, you should feel that more down in your belly and core and not up in your chest and lungs. And 3 seconds left. And time. Slowly walk back forward. We're back to the pretzel stretch. So I'm gonna do this a little different angle this time so you can see from the other side. You're going to lay on your right side, right foot comes back, grab that foot, grab your left foot with your right hand. Once you have those, we're going to try and lay shoulders back down flat. You should feel a nice stretch through both hips at the same time, as well as your hip flexors on the right side. If you can take a nap while doing this, go for it for 30 seconds here. Take a little nap, but continue to breathe.
Most people stop breathing while they nap.
Hopefully not. And relax. Slowly let those legs come out.
We'll do a figure 4 now. So your left foot is going to go over your right knee, reach through that window you created, pull that right thigh into you, push your tailbone into the floor, use your elbow to push that left knee open, and we're going to circle that left ankle. As big of circles as you can do.
You can either do these for time, or if you do not have a watch, or it's harder to hear your watch or see your watch, you can do 7 circles one direction, or then 7 circles the other direction.
So we'll go ahead and switch directions here. All right, go ahead, relax that ankle, pull those legs in just a little bit closer. Push your tailbone into the floor here. You should feel this in your hip, on that left hip.
Yeah.
Got a thing there.
Gotta do the right and left thumbs for sometimes.
All right, go ahead and relax. Grab behind those knees, roll yourself up. That was your lower body stretch routine. Hopefully you're feeling nice and flexible, ready to take on your workouts, ready to take on your day. Thanks for joining us.
Woohoo!